Good morning, study squad. It is me, Anjy. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are. As requested, this is my what's on my phone / I guess tips or insight onto what apps I use. I have listed my top few like productivity-ish apps, and I've also mentioned 5 notable mentions. So with that said, let us get to the video. First things first, Google Assistant. If you are a Google person, you use Google Drive, Google Photo, Google this, Google that, you need to have Google Assistant. Why don't you have Google Assistant? I use it to schedule my life and organize myself. So my calendar is linked to Google Docs, it's linked to Google Drive. Everything is linked, and it's made things a lot easier because it's linked to so many other apps. And I can make a whole video on how Google Assistant is amazing. So Google Assistant. Next one, I think it's called My Homework Student Planner or Student Life. If you search up My Homework Student, it will come up. Because it's such a long name, under the icon where I have the app, it doesn't actually come with the full name, but I use it to organize my to-do list because my school planner, I can't just use it for school stuff because I also have my personal revision and then my personal study, my personal X, Y, and Z to organize. So my homework student stuff is really useful because you can categorize things. So you can say, this is just to study B17. This is to do the paper that Mr. Perry gave you as a post-mock assessment. This is to do X, Y, and Z. So it keeps everything categorized, and that's very, very useful. The next thing that I've only just started to use is iTunes U. So it's just iTunes but with a capital U. I'm sorry because most of these are just for Apple and not for Android. So I do apologize. But iTunes U is basically iTunes University. If you want to take online courses in things, then this is the place to do it. I have 3 courses on there right now. I have Chinese 1, Chinese 2, so it's like the US system, I guess. And then I have a course from Yale called How to Start a Startup, just because I'm fascinated. So I will be getting to that. iTunes U has some stuff for pre-U, has some stuff for during university, and it has K to 12. So things from reception to year 13. It is more Americanized, I will give you that. But I have found it very interesting because it's helping me to learn new things in the new year. Libby, my French teacher, is actually the one who recommended this, so thanks to her. I got the app, I connected my library account after going to the library to make a library account, and now I can have books on my phone and take them out of the library. It works the same as the library, you have reservations. I use it, it helps me to read a lot more. They have non-fiction and fiction, so if I'm in the mood for interesting story, I can take it out. If I'm in the mood for learning something new, I can also take it out, which is very useful. Next, this app is my bread and butter. It's called Minimalist, and it's a list making app, and it's very minimalistic, and I love it. It's very self-explanatory. I would definitely recommend using it. I tend to use it for more miscellaneous tasks. So if I need to tidy up or do my laundry, that stuff will be on that list because I prefer My Homework Student as it has more categorization and it's just a lot more organized as a list making mechanism. Next, Quizlet. I was gonna put Quizlet into the notable mentions just because it's not actually a productivity app, but I love Quizlet. It's so good for almost every subject. Like, I can't think of a subject you can't do because even with me, I don't particularly like flashcards for science, but Quizlet now have Quizlet diagrams, which is very useful because what's a heart? What are lungs? How does that work? I'm using it for language learning. I am very grateful because now when you're doing language learning and you're making flashcards, Quizlet has an option to set the language. They always have, so you can like have the right alphabet, I guess, but now it guesses it for you. So when I was making my cool Korean vocab flashcard list, it was just coming up with the vocab. It was like, do you mean dosu? Do you mean namja? Do you mean etc, etc, etc? So yeah, Quizlet gets on the list. Now for the notable mentions, Gojimo. This is for studying not languages, studying in general if you are from South Africa, China, or the United Kingdom. It has a lot of GCSE subjects, so go check it out, it's very useful. A similar app to Gojimo is BBC Bite Size. The app doesn't have as many subjects as the website, unfortunately, but Gojimo and BBC Bite Size app are pretty much the same. On a similar note to my iTunes U, I also have Coursera. I've started doing courses on a different platform, but when I was doing Coursera courses, this app was very useful and I still keep it on my phone in case I find a course there that interests me. Duolingo, of course. A lot of people in the language community are kind of skeptical of Duolingo and they left it, but since they've been gone, Duolingo has had lots of updates and changes which are very useful. You now have group chats, they're called clubs. It's interesting, I'm just getting back into Duolingo. For character languages, so Japanese, Korean, Chinese, they have practice conversations. I'm not sure what other languages they have it for because I only check out a certain number of languages, but yeah, Duolingo has leveled up, so make sure you go check it out. And last but certainly not least, Memorize. The website is not the cutest, but the app is amazing for learning language vocab because I'm a linguist. I had to keep another language one in there. With that said, that is my top 12 apps on my phone, and those are the things I tend to use the most. I hope this video has been interesting and useful to you. As always, make sure you One for People smile, subscribe, study hard, slay hard, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!